think having a race war with the black community is in our favor. No, it fucking is not. And y'all always want to bring up black people attacking Asians during the post-COVID era, which has happened a few times, but guess what, bitch? There are gonna be bad people in every race. Remember, anti-Asian is always rooted in white supremacy, but a person of any race can be influenced by white supremacy. So those black people that attacked us were subscribing to the white supremacist narrative that Asians caused COVID. And if you blame black people as a whole for the anti-Asian hate crimes, you are subscribing to the white supremacist narrative that black people are inherently aggressive. And y'all Asians who are like, why aren't black people standing with us? Bitch, be grateful because they've always stood with us. Frederick Douglass in 1882 made the time to openly denounce the Chinese Exclusion Act while the black community was going through so much, such as rampant lynchings against them. They worked hand in hand with us to free the Japanese people in the internment camps in 1942, and we directly benefited from black-led civil rights movements every single time. So stop blaming and demanding things from them, and unlearn your anti-blackness first.
Before we get into the video, I just want to state that this is just my opinion. I'm not trying to change yours, but I just want to have a adult conversation about it without the cursing and all the yelling and screaming in the comments area. Please keep it clean down below. We're just expressing our feelings on social media. That's what social media is all about. Oh God, I got a tongue twister. Anyways, but I want to make sure that when people are watching this video to think of this domestic terrorist and how they're trying to paint him as a person that's having a bad day. Somebody literally stated that he was just having a bad day. Really? Okay. And they're also saying that he's trying to have a sexual addiction. You guys can believe that if y'all want to. I don't believe it. I believe that this guy was shooting the Asian people, because if y'all don't know, a lot of people who were Asian last year got beat up. They got hurt because of the virus, because everybody was blaming the virus on the Chinese, and the Asians, Americans over here, were getting beat up by different races of people. That's why I showed the video before this one, because I want you guys to keep in mind this is the reason why we are discussing stop the hate on Asians, and we're also going to be discussing why black people do not want to stand up for Asian people. So I want you guys to always understand, it always go back to white supremacists. It always goes back to them. This is what they want. They want us to divide. They want us to fight each other. So keep that in mind. Think of him, Robert Aaron, domestic terrorist, as you watch this video, okay? So let's go ahead and get into the video, shall we? Hey y'all, what's up? It's your girl here, MJ Sania. Let's get into this topic. We're not even gonna waste any time. So you guys have seen, I believe it's called hashtag Stop Asian Hate, or Stop the Hate Against Asian. I might put it down below so you guys can see it. I am all for this. I agree. I'm all for not having hate against any race. I believe in that. But what I do not like, and what I do not like to see, is, I'm just going to basically come out and say it, I feel like there is a race war that's trying to be started between Asian people and black people. And I really do feel that the black people, I'm not sure about the Asian people, but I'm really sure that things that I'm seeing online is really disturbing, because a lot of the black people are coming out talking. Now, it's okay to express your feelings on social media. There's nothing wrong with that at all. I totally agree with you guys. I get that a lot of black people are upset and they don't feel the need to protect Asian people. They don't feel the need, and I've actually heard people say this is not our fight, because I think this person is getting very upset that black people are not really thinking like how she is. But she posted, I'm gonna show you a video, I'm gonna show you an image first, and then we're gonna come back and discuss it. Okay, so here is the post that I've seen several posts about Asian people, and this is basically how this is how basically how some black people are thinking. This is what they're saying. They're saying the Asian community has never stood by the black community. Just stay quiet like they do to us. I hate that we go to the limb to defend others. Now, I get what he's saying, but he said that Asian community has never stood by the black community. Now, that's false. Okay, last year there were several Asian people that had stood up, went out and protested with black people in the Black Lives Matter movement. This is where I'm stating that a lot of us black people need to do our research before we open our mouth. We need to go look things up and Google things before we open our mouth. You cannot say never. They never. You can say that maybe some of them don't help us out, and you also need to break down as to why you won't support them. You can't say that a group of people never have done something. You have to first go, and I say this all the time, a lot of people don't Google anything if they don't see it with their own eyes, and they're all about keeping division. And this is going to be the main topic of this video, is dividing and keeping people apart in race war. That's basically what's happening right now as we speak. And it said how non-black POC think solidarity works. Times I respect you. All right. So go in the comment area. Some people were saying stop asking us to speak up and out. Y'all didn't do it for us. This is not our fight. And somebody said, I disagree. I know many Asians that protested here in NYC at least. I have actually seen, this is what I'm stating, this is where I believe it's going to be a race war, because you have a lot of black people who are saying that they never saw Asian people came out and speak for us. Yes, they have. And this is where the confusion is coming in at. And I'm going to play another video, but I'm jumping ahead. But let me stay with this part right here. So, yeah. So, basically, it says, I ain't gonna lie. When I see black people posting Save Asian Lives, you never see Asian protesting or donating to black community, not our fight. So, here we go. Not even in the Asian celebrities. I'm with you, bro. When they say not even with the Asian celebrities, Jay Park himself last year actually went out. They actually went out and protest in Black Lives Matter movement. Okay, but I don't understand why we need to have celebrities fight our battles. I said that last year with the Black Lives Matter. I do not look towards celebrities of saving a black community. Now, on a human level, if he was targeting women, then it's diff. But making the narrative about race, we have no fight in this. We spectators and pray for loss. So, happy to show you my arrests and photos of Black Lives Matter protests. I went to NYC as an Asian American, but if you would like to generalize races and fight racism with racism, I guess that's your choice. Yep, if that's your interpretation of what I said, then again, not our fight. I cannot educate you on being black in America. Don't throw racism to me, as I am speaking from my own black experience, 49 years in the hood as a child with Asian Americans and experiencing racism. So, what you guys are not understanding, and this is what Asian people need to understand, the reason why a lot of black people do not want to actually help you guys, we do not want to be on your side, is because of experience. We have experienced a lot of racism in the hood from Asian people. I'm not from the hood, I'm not from the projects, I'm not saying that I'm better than anyone, but I just want to let you know I experienced it too, and I'm not from the hood. But I'm going to tell you my story later on as to why my mind changed about certain Asian people. So don't tell me I'm general. Okay, we already said that. You should really look up history, specifically Yuri. I'm not going to change your mind because I've learned racists don't listen. Your mind probably won't change no matter what I showed you. Sorry, you have to you have, like, I'll say it like this, you have the mind of a white supremacist by putting minorities against each other. And this exactly is what I'm talking about. They are trying to put black people versus Asian people. Let's not forget, the black little girl that was shot by an Asian woman over LJ is living perfect fine in California free. But that is one Asian person. Yet again, this is the mindset of why black people don't want to help Asian. I can go on and on and on. I disagree. I know many Asians that protested here in NYC at least. And somebody said, I disagree. I am Asian and we don't have a problem with white or black people. We don't judge anybody by their skin color, unlike America. Yes, there are races in our countries as well, but very few. Asians in America do protest, and even if they don't, it's okay, because do all Americans protest? So basically, these are Asian people who are talking to the black people. If you did not know what I was trying to get you to see, Asian people are speaking out. The ones that actually, there are Asian people that actually have went out. Do not believe this. This is something that was something that I know about that was taught to me at a very young age. I was taught that Latinos and Asian people don't like black people, they hate us. I also was taught that all white people hate us. We have to get out of that narrative that everybody in the globe hates black people. We have to say that there are ones out here that are racist. But when we don't do when we don't Google nothing and we don't look up nothing, last year we had a lot of Asian people that was out there that was protesting and that was speaking up against black, that was speaking up against black people getting killed. They were on our side literally last year. So I don't know where all this is coming from, but I guess people basically forgot. And I'm actually going to show a video that Tony Baker had. He had
외정시 때나 콜로니얼리즘에 대는 거를 우리가 왜 몰라. 근데 우리 역사도 제대로 얘기를 안 와. 우리 중에 어디나 계급. 근데 미국에서는 더 외정시 때나 콜로니얼리즘에 대는 거를 우리가 왜 몰라. 근데 우리 역사도 제대로 얘기를 안 와. 우리 중에 어디나 계급. 근데 이 미국에서는 더 이렇게 복잡하게 race and class. 예? 왜 바깥에서 말로만 해서 I am down with you, I am in solidarity 하는 거는 액션을 우리가 제대로 같이 안 하면 아무 효과 없는 그냥 말만 하는 거예요. 그런데 당하는 사람들을 지금 급한 사람들 제일 급해요. 근데 착각하지 말라고 우리 한국 사람들. We all need to be, understanding the history. 그래서 divide하고 누가 conquer 할 수 있냐? 그러면 여기 우리가 100년 됐다 하고 우리 이민 history. 그러면 우리가 어떻게 당해서 여기 이런 나라까지 와서 세계 다 퍼졌는데 그 역사를 다시 찾고 우리를 뿌리를 찾고 그리고 제일 필요한 사람들, 제일 힘든 사람들을 우리가 같이 solidarity 없으면 우리 지구 is in danger. 왜 그러냐면 structurally 저기 그 1%가 힘이 있고 돈 있고 리소스 있고 그러면 지금 당장 죽어가는 사람들, 배고픈 사람들, 노숙자들이 우리가 돈이 없어서 해결 못하는 게 아니에요. 왜냐면 힘 있는 사람들은 놀아주고 싶지 않아요. 그게 나가 너무 아직 우리 깨달음이 안 생겼다 하는 게 너무 속상해요. 왜냐면 당하는 사람들은 그게 금방 보여요. 저기 니네들 솔리데리티 좋아하네. 왜냐면 말로는 이렇게 하고 우리 같이 총을 쏘나 우리한테 쏴든가 같이 억압을 하든가 아니 역사도 모르든가 그러면 there is no true solidarity. 그래서 진실로 우리가 commit ourselves. 제일 처음에는 우리가 뭘 해야 될 일을 그 다음에는 step by step. We don't have time, but we have to educate ourselves. 그리고 anti-blackness within our community is severe. Within the community of color is severe. Yes. And Asian communities is severe. Anti-blackness and 그거 오해예요. We should really know that this is not about other people. And there will be time that will come for us. And there will be no one standing for anybody. 그렇다면 we have to put into action whatever we say about solidarity work. 1992, whatever the LA rebellion. 아직도 제대로 소화를 못 시키고 그때서부터 우리가 깨달음이 생겼어요 for our community. 그러면 우리 장사하는 거 깨지고 우리 이런 것만 포커스해요. 근데 여기서 바로 Black Lives Matter is not just a chant. 당신 자식이 되면 당신 형제, 당신 남편이 집에서 나가서 오늘 저녁에 돌아올까 말까, 경찰에 잡힐까. 그러면 당신들도 기독교에서 뭐를 가르쳐주고 있어요? It's not just about charity and giving to somebody else. It's truly understanding the other shoe and walking in those shoes. 그래서 너무 기독교라는 게 저는 you talk with both sides of your mouth. 예수를 진실로 믿는 데면 지금 예수님이 살아있다면 당신들이 어떻게 지금 you're killing them, 저기 한대면 지금 그러면 보라색에서 안 됐지만 나는 내 일할 거라. We cannot live another day that way.
Alright, so I'm going to show you another video. This is a video basically showing a black woman how she sees it in her way, how she viewed the whole ordeal, because there are a lot of things that I saw recently too about what NBC, I think it was NBC, one of those news stations, they were basically telling black people they had to go and stand up for Asian people. First of all, nobody need to be telling us to do anything. It should be what we want to do with our own bodies, with our own minds. And so basically, I'm gonna let you see another video of a black woman who's simply is explaining this as to how I similarly have been explaining it earlier. And the funny thing about it is the person who posted this was the same person that posted the other video about the black guy saying that this is not, he posted something on Twitter or Instagram about not this being our fight. I just don't understand why you post this video with the other the other clip of a pic before. I just don't understand why this now is just making me second guess if I should be following this person on their channel or listening to whatever they got to say, because it just seemed kind of hypocritical to me. But whatever, that's just my opinion, like I stated. But let's see this video though.
But I'm gonna keep it brief. So NBC had the nerve to tell black people how they could be better allies to Asian people during their time of need right now. But wait, let's go. So you're telling me a white man goes around murdering people and somehow black people needing to do better is somehow still interjected into the narrative? The model minority might not like this one. This past week, 6 Asian women were tragically murdered by a shooter who claimed he needed to eliminate them because he was a sex addict and they were his temptation. It's not clear if the women were sex workers. Stop shaming sex workers. But even if they were, white man, you just can't run around killing people based on your wants and needs at the time. U.S. history class really got y'all f***ed up, don't it? News coverage of the topic is linking the murders to a year of increased violence against Asian Americans due to ignorant people's perceptions on Asian Americans' influence on the spread of coronavirus. Well, it came from them. Asian Americans. They in the same boat as you, Jim Bob. But this particular incident is just a public iteration of the violence Asian American women are already susceptible to, as groups of people who, according to white men, and black men too, girl, exist solely to submissively gratify exotic sexual desires. Sound a lot like black women to me. Sound a lot like black trans women to me. But Asian Americans in general are either microaggressively sexualized or asexualized, regarded as passive or meek, or either praised for their intelligence or spoken to as if they're stupid if their English isn't clear enough. And with all these microaggressions and fetishizations and over-sexualization and mistreatment and murder, I couldn't help but see so many parallels. And it got me to thinking, why are we not doing this together? Sounds to me like we need a rainbow coalition. A rainbow coalition is a group of people of different races with different ideologies coming together to fight the same enemy. Rich white supremacy. The very first rainbow coalition was organized by Fred Hampton of the Chicago Black Panthers, when he pulled together a local black gang, the Latinos, and the poor white folk. However, this ever so strategic model minority myth has been instrumental in dividing the possibility of Asian and black American unity. The myth came into play when the civil rights movement started to gain some traction. The government used it to undermine claims about inequality amongst non-whites by saying, Asians have experienced racism and they're doing great. Why can't you? They work hard. They get good grades. They are naturally law-abiding people. So they're a model minority because they don't make a fuss when you circumscribe their civil liberties. Okay. And y'all bought it. Came right on over here and scooped up anti-blackness like it was a travel guide. Unpopular opinion alert. Which is interesting because we've been riding with y'all since y'all got here. Frederick Douglass made the time to publicly speak against the Chinese Exclusion Act in 1882 when lynching was ravaging and taking thousands of lives in the South. We worked hand in hand to repeal the Emergency Detention Act after Japanese Americans were sent to detention camps. Hell, the phrase Asian American was inspired by the work y'all did with us during the Black Power movement. Oh, but when this myth came about, y'all dropped us like a bad habit. Not all of y'all, but it's a lot. And Black versus Asian relations came to a head when a number of Asian American-owned businesses were destroyed in Los Angeles during the Rodney King riots in 1992, coming right off the heels of the 1991 murder of Latasha Harlins, a 15-year-old girl who was shot in the head by a Korean store owner who thought she was trying to steal some orange juice. The money to pay for the orange juice was found clutched in the baby girl's hand as she lay bleeding bleeding out. And see, that's why it hurts. I'm gonna need some more tea. That's why it hurts to see you assault and abuse black customers and black hair care stores profiting off our little existence. That's why it hurts when black entrepreneurs can't get into the black hair care business because catalogs are intentionally printed in language forms we don't understand. And when your suppliers continue to make cheaper versions of the products that we design and undercut black people economically. That's why it hurt us a lot to see an Asian American officer stand by silently and dutifully while George Floyd was being murdered. It hurts because the model minority myth has convinced you two that we are criminals and we deserve to be treated that way. So we stand with you because we understand your plight. We'd appreciate if more of you would take a stand with us. Also, NBC, stop making white supremacy a black people problem.
So basically, I hope you guys understand that. I hope you guys get where she was coming at. Yes. So basically, she pretty much said what I was saying in a nutshell. She gave you the reason. Okay, first thing, she gave you the reason as to why us black people don't want to support Asian people. Then she tells you also that this is something that white people want us to do, certain races, prejudice white people, they want us to have a race war basically with the Asian people. This is what white people do all the time. They have the Latinos go against the blacks, they have the Asians going against the blacks, or whatever the case might be. They have us go against each other. She also brings out how, I believe she mentioned something about hair. If you guys don't know, there are African Americans in America that do sell, weaves and stuff like that, because a lot of us like to wear weaves, wigs, have our hair braided and stuff like that. They do sell this stuff. They do have stores in America. This is what I tend to notice with the black people who own these businesses. They said that they cannot get the hair, which, if you did not watch Hair Show, it was something that was created. It was like a documentary that was created by Chris Rock many years ago. It was basically stating that Asian people have a monopoly on the weave. A lot of white people try to get into it. You can sell the hair, but you cannot go and try to make business with the people who actually create their hair, which is just for Chinese people. I don't know if it's just Chinese, but I do know for a fact that Asian people have a monopoly over that. They're not allowing anybody else. But like I said, you need to go watch the documentary of Hair Show to get a better detail of me telling you. Don't listen to me. Go look it up for yourself. They have a monopoly on this, and this is why a lot of people cannot get into the hair business. Another thing too is I want to bring out. I don't know if I think she briefly talked about it. Is we have these Asian people in our community set up. I've talked about this for a very long time. This is a problem, okay? In a predominantly black neighborhood, we need to start doing things for ourselves. I don't understand why black women still go get their nails done by Asian people. I don't know why, because there are different salons by different races of people now, but for some odd strange reason, we keep going to a racist Asian person. Why not go to somebody who's non-racist? There's other Asian people who appreciate us and want our business and don't treat us very badly. I don't understand why we end up giving our money to these racist Asian people. I never can understand that, because not all of the Asian people are racist. Which brings me into the next topic. The next topic is me personally. Like I stated before, when I was younger, I thought that every Asian person hated black people because of the history that I've heard over and over. I know about the young woman that got shot in California back before I think it was like Rodney King was already killed. I mean, not killed, already beaten up by the cops, but she got killed, and then it just put more fuel to the fire, so to speak. So, we know all about that. Everything that this young lady had talked about, us black people, we know that. We know that they come in our communities and they use us. But this is something that I've been talking about and other black people have been speaking about for years, about how we need to stop this and we need to bring money into our own communities. This is nothing new. We need to start having our own businesses, our own nail salons, our own hair salons, our own well, we have our own hair salons, but our own, beauty stores for us. It's funny to me that all last year I kept preaching, there is black women in Florida, there's black women, there's African Americans that do have a hair store. I was preaching it all last year, but sadly I still do not see black people going to these hair stores and supporting them. That's another problem. We're not supporting each other. I say this all the time. We don't even support each other on social media. If we have a YouTube channel, we'd rather go be with the white people. I've seen this on YouTube. We'd rather go be with the white people. We're not even supporting each other on each other's channels. I've said this several times. So I get that black people are upset that I get it, why my black people, I get it that you're upset. You're not upset. You do not feel the need to support Asian people. But I want you to keep in mind, this is what the white person wants. They want us to fight the Asian people. They're trying to take it off of that white dude that went up there and shot these women up. Yes, that's exactly what they're trying to do. They're trying to point the fingers at us now. This is like our fault. No, this is not our fault. We do not need for other people to cause confusion amongst us. We need to stand strong together. Yes, but we cannot be like, oh, well, that's not our fight. Nobody tell you to go out and fight nobody. This young lady who was dressed in white that was speaking, she speaks some really good knowledge. It's just kind of funny to me, the person who posted this video, she also posted a video of another guy that said, we do not need to, I don't know what it says, but I'll have to show it again. We do not need, we don't need to protect, or we don't need to say anything. We need to be quiet like how they've been quiet. I don't understand. You post that video and then now you post this. This is why I kind of unfollow certain people, and it's like, this is kind of why I don't like. It's like, okay, now you're showing this black woman, she's speaking the knowledge, but you show this other black guy that clearly, the other black person that clearly is not educated on what is going on right now. Right now they're trying to start a race war. This is what this young black woman is saying, that they're trying to start a race war with the Asian people. I get everything she's saying. Everything she's talking about, I talked about for years and years and years on this channel. If you go back, I always talked about this. I also have a channel that talks about, another channel where I talk about how Asian people steal our culture, and they're not educated themselves on where hip hop comes from, and they try to take hip hop and they try to make it their own and call it K-pop. I've talked about this stuff. I'm not new to this stuff. I know all about that. But when you keep spilling this and you're talking about, well, I'm not going to support the Asian people, really? Just like, I don't know if you guys heard about what happened in Texas, where it was called the Dark Winter. People had saw this white girl on TikTok crying, and I literally had somebody, like a family member, told me, oh, well, I'm not going to feel sorry for a white person crying because they lost their home. I feel like ever since 2020, I feel like a lot of us are really spewing hate, just like the very people that we talk about. The very people that we talk about, I feel like we too, as black people, are spewing hate just like everybody else. So we talked about last year about having equal rights. We talk about how there shouldn't be no racism, but when we're sitting here talking about, well, I don't care if a little white girl is crying because her house is getting caved in because due to the bad weather, really, people? Really? I just couldn't believe my family member said that. I was like, look, we don't need to be like everybody else and be hateful. I'm not sitting here talking about let people treat you like a dog, talk to you all kind of way, but this is basically what I've been talking about all last year, and it's finally happening again with black people. We are allowing another race to have us to go up against another race. Let me know what y'all think of this video. I can't stress it enough. I'm actually going to stay out of this one. I'm not going to continue to keep making a video on this. I'm literally going to stay out of this one because I think something bad is about to happen with the Asians and black people. I don't even think the Asians are going to have a fight with the white people. I think they're going to have a fight with the black people. So I'm going to stay out of this one. I said it last year. I said it with the Black Lives Matter movement. I saw a lot of stuff that was going on. I'm gonna say it again. I know I'm supposed to be closing out, but I want to say this real quick. A lot of the people corrupted the Black Lives Matter movement, and I told people I'm gonna stay out of it because our job was not that movement. Really, it was a movement that I started, following, and I started believing in ever since 2013. That was when it was created. I really got attached to it even more in 2017, and it got corrupted in 2020 because of politics and lies. So if you want to know about the Black Lives Matter movement, how I felt about it and what happened to it, I really do still believe in it. But at this point of after 2020, the movement is corrupted. So I have made several videos on that, and I told people that I'm going to stay out of it, and I'm going to stay out of this one because I feel like something bad is about to happen. I'm just going to let you guys know that. And my thing is, it's what I'm talking about is it's going to be a race war again this year. So let me know what you think of the video down below. As for now, all I can do is throw up a peace sign. All I can say is peace.